Another earthquake was felt near the Florida Panhandle. This is the fifth one in the past month. Take a look at a map from the U.S. Geological Survey. The magnitude 2.5 quake hit near Damascus, Alabama.
Florida. Beneath Florida's bright skyline and gently swaying palm trees, a quiet disaster is taking shape. Not from hurricanes spinning out in the Atlantic. Not from rising seas, storm surges, or even the ever-present fear of sharks. This time, the danger is coming from below, where the ocean floor itself has begun to give way. It began softly, almost unnoticed. Strange and troubling signals picked up by underwater sensors. Small, unexplained movements in the seafloor. At first, no one knew what they meant. Then, the sinking sped up. Cracks spread across underwater ridges, and officials were forced to take action. Now long stretches of Florida's famous coastline, from Port Everglades to Palm Beach, sit eerily empty. Tourists have vanished. Roads are blocked off. The only sounds left are crashing waves and the steady hum of helicopters patrolling a restricted shoreline. Satellite images reveal something almost impossible to believe. Miles of ground bending and sinking. Areas showing sudden drops in elevation. Sinkholes opening beneath the ocean surface. Emergency alerts were issued as parts of the sea swallowed sand and dark tar-like blobs floated upward from below. A disturbing sign tied directly to the collapse itself. Scientists admit they don't yet have clear answers, only growing concern and more questions. What is tearing this paradise apart? Is this only Florida's problem? Or could the ground beneath other coastlines be at risk too? Behind the headlines, under the waves, and deep inside the rock, a complicated story of geology, collapse, and growing danger is unfolding. The biggest question remains: how close are we to the next disaster? And could it be even worse than anything we've seen so far? Experts once believed this could never happen here. Florida's coastline, known for calm waters and shallow seas, was thought to be stable. A place where danger below the surface seemed unlikely. But then it happened. The seafloor itself collapsed, revealing a web of sinkholes that tore open the ocean bottom without warning. How could ground that seemed solid simply disappear in a matter of hours? Scientists believe the answer lies deep beneath Florida's clear water and sandy beaches. Unlike places built on hard rock, Florida rests on soft limestone, rock that slowly dissolves when fresh and salt water flow through it. Over time, this process creates hidden caves and hollow spaces stretching for miles, waiting for the right trigger. A shift in water pressure. A sudden rush of water. Off Florida's coast, underground chambers collapsed, pulling sand and sediment downward. This triggered a chain reaction. Beaches vanished. The seabed cracked open, forming massive holes. These kinds of events are rare, and the speed of the recent collapse has left even experienced scientists uneasy. Could other coastlines around the world be sitting quietly, waiting for the same kind of failure? In the morning, the ocean can look calm and perfect, blue and peaceful like a postcard. By evening, a massive hole hundreds of feet wide could open just beneath the surface, swallowing coral reefs and sandbars whole. Florida has long been known for sinkholes on land. Now, the true size of its underwater sinkhole network is coming into view. Why are so many of them hiding beneath Florida's clear coastal waters? Below the sunlit surface lies a fragile limestone platform shaped over thousands of years by groundwater slowly eating away at the rock. On land, this creates the sinkholes that have swallowed homes and disrupted communities. Offshore, the same process happens out of sight. As tides and currents shift, seawater slips into tiny cracks, slowly dissolving the limestone from below. Over time, entire cave systems form, connected chambers hidden beneath thin layers of sand. One sudden change, like a storm surge or a shift in water level, can cause the cave roof to collapse, dragging everything above it down. Recent research suggests this underwater sinkhole system is far larger and more connected than scientists once believed. When one section fails, the collapse can spread quickly. This isn't just a local issue. It's a warning written into the rock itself. Wherever limestone exists, there is risk. If collapse can happen suddenly here, how many other coastlines are facing the same ticking clock? No alarms, no shaking earthquakes, just slow, steady sinking, hard to notice, yet capable of causing massive damage. When satellites first showed parts of Florida's coastline dropping by mere inches, few people reacted. But then roads began to crack. Seawalls leaned. Buildings showed signs of uneven settling. Concerns started to grow. How can land fail with so little warning? This is the danger of slow-moving disasters. Beneath the surface, water flows through limestone, weakening it bit by bit. Pressure builds, from waves above or from buildings and roads, until something finally gives. Often, the collapse isn't dramatic. The ground sinks, pavement bends, structures tilt. The most frightening part is that by the time these signs appear, the damage is already severe and often impossible to fully fix. Emergency alerts now echo along the coast, not because of hurricanes, but because of satellite data and sensitive sensors. The threat stays hidden until it's suddenly everywhere. Is the greatest danger the one you never see coming? Not every clue appears as cracks or craters. Sometimes the ocean sends a darker message. Thick black tarballs recently washed ashore between Port Everglades and Palm Beach, forcing closures and leaving residents and visitors confused. What are these tarballs? And why now? When the seafloor collapses, it can disturb ancient organic material trapped deep inside porous rock. Over thousands of years, this material turns into tar or oil, lying dormant until the ground breaks open. The sudden appearance of tar balls may be linked to shifting ground, allowing these substances to rise through fractures in the seabed. Unlike oil spills or red tide events, these tar balls likely come from natural deposits exposed by geological movement. They aren't just pollution, they're a warning sign. If ancient tar can rise when the seafloor collapses, what else could be released as Florida's foundation continues to shift? Florida isn't known for earthquakes. It lacks major fault lines and is considered geologically quiet. Yet faint tremors have been detected offshore, subtle rumbles in places long thought stable. Why is the ground shaking now? As land sinks and underground spaces collapse, pressure builds in surrounding rock layers. Though not caused by tectonic plate movement, these shifts can create noticeable vibrations. They aren't large earthquakes, but they signal growing instability. It's as if Florida's crust is quietly cracking, hinting at deeper problems below. Could larger tremors follow, triggered not by faults, but by collapsing ground? For generations, owning a home in Florida meant buying into a dream. White sand, ocean breezes, glowing sunsets. But as the ground shifts in some areas, that dream feels less certain. Roads split, foundations move. How safe can any building be if the ground beneath it is slowly dissolving? Much of Florida's development sits atop sediment and limestone. Even modern structures with deep foundations are at risk if the rock below weakens. Over time, buildings warp, cracks appear, and property values fall. No amount of concrete can stop land that is slowly disappearing grain by grain. As more coastal areas report instability, the idea of paradise is being tested. Is Florida's promise built on ground that may not last forever? One offshore collapse can expose a much larger weakness. Scientists now see signs of an interconnected system where one failure weakens the next. When a sinkhole opens, water rushes in, stressing nearby rock and raising the chance of further collapse. What starts as a single event can quickly spread along the coast, threatening homes and infrastructure. Florida's coastline isn't just sinking in isolated spots, it may be unraveling piece by piece. If the dominoes keep falling, how far will it go? Divers have discovered a hidden world below the calm surf. Vast underwater caves, slow currents, and echoing chambers carved by time. These submerged caverns may hold the key to Florida's collapsing coast. Over centuries, water has carved tunnels through limestone, many still unmapped offshore. As the ocean continues dissolving the rock, the risk of collapse grows. Scientists now believe these caverns are widespread, forming a network beneath much of the coastline. What other hidden dangers lie waiting in the darkness below? No one meant to make things worse. But Florida's rapid growth may be adding pressure to an already fragile system. Increased demand for fresh water lowers groundwater levels, making limestone weaker and more brittle. Construction adds weight. Paved surfaces change how water flows underground. Efforts to build paradise may be pushing the land toward collapse. If these trends continue, can engineering alone keep Florida safe? Florida's situation may seem unique, but history tells a familiar story. Around the world, soft rock and hidden water have led to sinking land and vanished coastlines. The warning signs are always similar: slow erosion, hidden voids, and pressure from above. Florida may not be the first, and it won't be the last. If warnings are ignored, history has a way of repeating itself. At first, closures focused on famous beaches. Now concern is spreading. The same limestone runs beneath much of Florida and stretches along parts of the Atlantic coast. Early data suggests similar risks elsewhere. Geology doesn't follow city or county lines. What starts in one place can spread outward year by year. Another danger looms beneath the surface. If sections of the seafloor slide downward, they could push large volumes of water toward shore, creating powerful waves. While rare, such events have happened elsewhere and remain under close watch. Even if the risk is low, the consequences could be severe. Florida is now being described as a geological hot zone, not for volcanoes or faults, but for sudden collapse. It's a reminder that danger doesn't always come from obvious places. With every sinkhole, tremor, and tarball, the ground is sending a message. Researchers are working urgently, using drones, satellites, and seafloor scans to understand what's happening. But change is happening faster than predictions. The best defense may be early warnings, closures, and rethinking where we build. For generations, Florida's beaches symbolize safety and escape. Now, with closures and uncertainty, old assumptions are breaking down. The Earth doesn't stand still. Sometimes the ocean takes back what it once gave. Florida's story is still being written by science adaptation and whatever rises next from the deep. If you want to explore more about the forces shaping our world and the dangers beneath our coasts, subscribe. Because the answers and the warnings are often closer than we think.